Hi guys, welcome back to another sections of the Gospel Angelus. Today we are going to explore one familiar topic, which is the Holy Communion topics. Now let's read the scriptures. Matthew 26, verse 26 to 30. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to disciples and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." Then he took the cup and gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for many of the remission of sin. But I say to you, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on, until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." And when they had sung a hymn, they went up to the mouth of Olive. It's a familiar verses that we have. We have been hearing it. If you are a Christian, you've been hearing it for many times. So what's so interesting about the Holy Communion? Now, let's look into more details on it. About the covenant that Jesus mentioned, the new covenant. Actually, what is this new covenant? So, before that, we have to understand what is the old covenant. So the old covenant was established when Moses met God. And the covenant that they established is the covenant of law. Now, this in contrast, when Jesus came, he set up a new covenant, which is covenant of grace. Now, where do we find these information about this covenant? Let's read another Bible verse. Romans 6:14. For sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under law, but under grace. There are more information about the new covenant if you can refer to Hebrews 8, verse 7 to 13. But I will just tell you one of the verse, which is verse 12. It reads as this: "For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their lawless deeds I will remember no more." As you can see, this new covenant that Jesus established, our sin will not be remembered anymore. Means it's a covenant of grace with forgiveness of sins. Now we understand drinks represent the blood of Christ, which is very familiar to us, and we know what is the new covenant. But what does it mean by take the bread and eat it? What does the bread represent? So if you want to know what the bread represents, you have to refer to scriptures under John 6:35 to 63. So this is the entire passage that describes the foundations of the Holy Communion. Now, you have to read it first, then you will understand how does this bread correlate to Jesus. Now, in this passage, Jesus emphasized that He is the bread of life. He is the bread from heaven 3 times. So as you can see, this bread, which represent Jesus, is the bread of life, and in the Holy Communion, this bread is being linked together. So what does it mean really that we eat the bread, which is in a way we eat the body of Christ? What does it really mean? You can find it in verse 57, where he said that, "As the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so he who feeds on me will live because of me." So you have it. The bread, which in the Holy Communion represent the body of Christ, which is in turn, it means that the Word became flesh, and therefore the flesh is represent the body of Christ. Now, when we consume or we eat the body of Christ, it means that we will feed on Him and we will have life. In short, when we take the Holy Communion with the bread and have it in us, it means that we have the life in God. That's why Jesus in verse 57 say, "He who feeds on me will have life." It just means that the bread itself, when we eat the bread, we have to remember that this bread is the bread from heaven, which gave life. So when we partake the bread, it means that we have life in God. and we partake the drinks, it means that we are in the new covenant, which is under grace. So hopefully this short video will help you to understand more about why we actually take the bread and why we actually take the drinks. Thank you. See you next time.
'Cause our God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven.